Have you ever felt like life just keeps knocking you down? Like no matter how hard you try, the hits keep coming, one after another, until you're left wondering how much more you can take. Imagine standing in a boxing ring, and life is your opponent, delivering punch after punch. The bell rings, but there's no break. It's a relentless fight. What do you do when life knocks you to your knees? Today's message is all about not giving up, no matter how many times you get knocked down. Because here's the truth: life will knock you down. It will bring you to your knees. But it's what you do next that defines your journey. Think about the story of Job in the Bible, a man who had everything, only to lose it all in what seemed like the blink of an eye. Job was a wealthy man, respected and revered, with a large family and immense riches. But suddenly, everything was taken from him: his wealth, his children, his health. He was left with nothing but the pain of his losses. It was as if life had delivered the hardest punch imaginable, one that brought him crashing down. Now let's connect that story to the modern world. Imagine losing your job, your financial stability, and the pain of losing loved ones all at once. For some, this is not just a story. It's reality. It's a situation where life seems merciless, throwing one blow after another. But in those moments of despair, when it feels like the world is caving in, there is a choice to make: to stay down or to rise up. Here's a question: where do you find your strength when life feels overwhelming? The Bible gives us another powerful example in the story of Gideon and the Midianites. Gideon was a man who initially saw himself as weak and insignificant. When God called him to lead the Israelites against the Midianites, Gideon was full of doubt. He asked for multiple signs to confirm that God was truly with him. But once he accepted his calling, he led a small, underpowered army against a vast Midianite force and won. What gave Gideon the courage to stand up and fight, even when the odds were against him? It was his unwavering belief that God was with him, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Gideon knew that strength wasn't about physical power, but about the resilience of the spirit. The Goliaths we face might not be literal giants in today's world, but they can be just as intimidating. It could be an insurmountable debt, a health crisis, or a toxic relationship. The key lesson here is that, like Gideon, we have the power to face our challenges, not with fear, but with faith and determination. Let's talk about persistence. Life's challenges can wear you down, but persistence is the fuel that keeps you moving forward. Remember the story of Ruth and Naomi, another powerful biblical example of perseverance. Ruth was a Moabite woman who, after the death of her husband, chose to stay with her mother-in-law, Naomi, rather than return to her own people. Together, they faced poverty and uncertainty. But Ruth's loyalty and hard work led her to Boaz, who ultimately redeemed them. Ruth didn't let her circumstances define her. She continued to believe that there was a greater purpose for her life. Eventually, her persistence paid off. She found a new family and security in a place where she was once a stranger. Now consider a modern example. Think about entrepreneurs who've faced bankruptcy or athletes who've suffered career-threatening injuries. Many of them share the same story. They were knocked down, sometimes repeatedly, but they refused to stay down. Their persistence eventually led to success. The lesson here is clear. The road may be long and the journey tough, but those who keep going, even when the odds are stacked against them, are the ones who ultimately succeed. So, how can you apply these lessons to your own life? Here are a few practical tips to help you get back up when life knocks you down. 1. Shift your perspective. When faced with a setback, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" Shifting your perspective can turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. 2. Lean on your support system. Don't try to go it alone. Reach out to friends, family, or a community that can offer encouragement and support. Sometimes, the simple act of sharing your struggles can lighten the load. 3. Focus on what you can control. It's easy to get overwhelmed by things that are beyond your control. Instead, focus on the aspects of your situation that you can influence. Taking small, actionable steps can help you regain a sense of control and momentum. 4. Keep the faith. Whether it's faith in God, faith in yourself, or faith in a brighter future, holding on to hope is crucial. As the Bible says, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Even when you can't see the path forward, believe that there is one. 5. Take care of your mind and body. When life gets tough, it's easy to neglect your physical and mental well-being. But taking care of yourself is essential. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and mindfulness practices can help you build resilience and cope better with stress. Here's the exciting part. Every great story has a comeback. Your story is no different. Think about the times in your life when you faced adversity and came out stronger on the other side. Those moments weren't the end of your story. They were just the beginning of a new chapter. The Bible is filled with stories of comebacks, whether it's Job's restoration, Ruth and Naomi's redemption, or Jesus' resurrection after the crucifixion. Each of these stories teaches us that no matter how dark things may seem, there is always the potential for a comeback. And in the modern world, we see comebacks all around us. People who've lost everything only to rebuild their lives in ways they never imagined. So, when life knocks you to your knees, remember this: you have the strength to rise again. The journey may be difficult and the road long, but never give up. Your comeback story is waiting to be written. Now, it's your turn. Have you ever faced a situation that knocked you down, but you found the strength to rise again? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could be the inspiration someone else needs to keep going. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that uplifts and inspires. Remember, the best is yet to come. See you in the next video.